to another edition of Midweek Minutes. This past Sunday, we had a message entitled Waiting Meets God, and it was taken from Luke chapter 1, verses 21 to 25. And in this passage, the people were waiting on Zechariah to come out of the sanctuary, and it was taking a while, and they were wondering why he was taking so long. And when he finally came out, he was silent, and they inferred from his silence and the gestures that he was making that he had an encounter with God. Waiting meets God. Now, this passage and this message is part of an ongoing series that Pastor Mike has been teaching to study the origin story of John the Baptist. And it's designed to fan the flames of our hope and expectation during this Advent season. And we've also started a devotional through the book of Isaiah for this Advent season. And on the second day of our devotional, we learned a new Hebrew word called kavah, which is defined as hope and translated as waiting with expectation, with a tense anticipation. For example, farmers, when they plant their crops and they wait for it, they're waiting, they're kavahing throughout the whole time, hoping to receive a good yield. And so when we're in those situations where we're waiting for God, as the point on Sunday told us, when we wait on God, we ought to be looking for signs along the way. Now, most times we don't like waiting. We're an impatient people. But waiting isn't a passive thing we do just to go from one situation to our desired expectation. No, waiting is an active thing we engage in. And the other day, I had to wait for my service repair because my dryer was on the fritz. And you know, having a busy household with church clothes, school clothes, work clothes, extracurricular clothes, house clothes, that can be a problem. And so, because I have an extended repair warranty, I called up my provider and they told me they'd be here between 8 and 12. And you guessed it, they didn't come close to the 8 o'clock range. In fact, they didn't come until after 12:45. Eventually though, they were able to fix the problem. Before, I would press and no power would come on. And now it's resolved. Now, as I was waiting, I was checking my phone to see if they called or sent a text or any sort of alert that the repair person was on the way. And there were no signs, but I waited. But beloved, as the point on Sunday tells us, there are signs along the way. And we also had a point that said God expects us to be paying attention to what he's doing. God is at work. He's doing a great work in your life specifically. And he wants you to be paying attention to what he's doing. And if we wait with the kavah, with that expectation, with that tense anticipation, he will cause to come to pass his will in your life. So I thank you for joining me for another edition of Midweek Minutes. I hope to see you again next week. Let's see if we got power now. Music to my ears. Gotta dry some laundry. Ha ha. Goodbye for now.